Waiting for it.
Nice.
I don't. Oh yeah. Okay.
Solid.
I thought we were all waiting for me. I'm like, I just do not have one right now.
I was waiting for you for a moment.
Oh, okay.
And then you didn't raise anything up. And I was like, well,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm trying not to drink during the week right now.
Have a fucking seltzer that's not alcoholic.
That's the whole point. Still trying to not drink throughout the whole week.
No,
like water? I mean non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, like a fucking
like a bubbly or something.
Liquid death?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, bubbly or some shit. Michael
I'd rather just
Bublé,
go and get my
support
water
our guy.
bottle.
Well, I a few of the episodes I've drank bubblies, I crack those open.
I don't even know the difference.
You don't know what a bubbly is?
No, I do know what a bubbly is. I'm saying like from the camera POV, like I can see him cracking, but I just assume it's alcoholic.
It is.
Oh.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that you don't gotta crack open an alcoholic beverage, baby.
Yeah, you don't have to drink to have fun, Hayden.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Come on.
You
Fucking
guys sound
nerd.
like my mom right now.
I had to have 7 drinks to do this.
Had to settle the nerves.
I am shaking like a leaf. Like a Ryan leaf.
Oh
Sports.
boy.
Have I even done the intro yet? I don't know.
No.
It's episode 123 of Left Side Heavy, the podcast presented by Blue Wire. If you don't know his voice already, me and Hayden are joined by the one and only Cory Letendre. How you doing, you beautiful son of a beautiful mother?
Have you ever thought of not being presented by Blue Wire Hustle and instead trying to get a sponsorship with Live Wires?
No, but I'll look into it.
Thank you. Please do. Great candy.
Oh, one
Top
of
level
the
snack.
yeah, one of the greats.
Quickly, what's your favorite color of Live Wire candy?
Blue.
Solid Hayden.
I don't know what live wire candy is.
You're
you
lying.
fucking kidding me
No,
right
you're
now?
lying. Hayden, you're
No.
lying.
They're the
Yes, it is. It's the
candy like tubes. They're like color on the outside. That's the flavor, and then inside's like a cream kind of, and it's the same cream in all of them. They're at seven. They're at
really
every
thin.
7-Eleven across the nation.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't really have a favorite, but I've only ever really tried blue. So
I called them flavor tubes.
yeah, no idea.
Oh man, you really fucking let the air out of that.
Until the explanation, I'm like, Cory, please don't come to me, man. Please don't come to me.
when when you first said that, I would have to like at least go through the steps in my head of like at least think about never talking to you again.
Yeah,
I mean, I just felt like a student, like being called on by a teacher and just not having the answer prepared mentally. Yeah, exactly. I was like,
he's got the
fuck.
accidental boner in class. He's like, please don't call me up to the
Fuck,
board.
don't make
Please
me
don't call
stand
me up to the board.
Don't make me
fuck.
don't make me take the attendance to the principal's office, please. No.
Yeah. They call you and you're like, oh fuck, what do I do? What do I do? Fuck you. I'll
That's
take
it.
the punishment.
Stand up right now.
Gah! That's when you flip the desk to create a distraction and you go. Everyone's eyes are on the desk.
Or you just like pretend you're reaching something into like the bottom of your bag when you put it on your lap so you could like tuck it in your waistband or something like that.
Yeah, you're just doing anything you possibly can to not let the world know you have a little bones.
That's always what I did. Just tucked it in the waistband.
Cory, why are you wearing the back pad on your stomach really low?
It's a new look I saw
Yeah.
on BET.
It's called front sagging.
Yeah.
Actually, the new way kids are doing
You guys
it
don't
these
front
days.
sag?
Idiots.
Everyone's doing it in Europe.
My girlfriend who goes to a different school actually does this as well. So.
She's actually a model in Prague. You wouldn't get it.
Cory, what's your flavor of Live Wire?
I think I was gonna try and be different and say like the pink bubblegum one's fun, but the blue one is the best, followed closely by the red one.
Yeah. The red and blue, I'll be honest, are the only ones I've seen.
You've never had the orange or the pink? Those are the other 2 colors, I believe.
You know what? I take that back. I have had the orange, but I haven't had the pink before.
Ah, well, a whole new world awaits for you, my friend. I believe it's bubblegum flavor, but it's been a minute, so.
I actually can't have Live Wires anymore because I'm a big gluten idiot. So
There's gluten in a Live Wire?
there is sad.
I thought it would be more gelatin.
A tear drops on the package every time I look at it.
Anyways, welcome back to the Snacktastic Voyage, everybody.
Yeah. He's your host, Cory Letendre.
Woo, it's me, Big Tasty, and I'm back.
You gotta say
I love it.
you gotta say the thing again. How do you
Ooh,
introduce? I know
Golly,
you're
it's
a
been a
little
minute
rusty.
since I said it, and I don't remember.
Hell.
Well, no, I got it. Welcome back to the Snacktastic Voyage, the only podcast hosted by me and Carrie, bringing you everything sweet, savory, salty, and sour, coming to you in under an hour. That's what it is.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Down.
I was proud of that one. That was a good slogan. It was a good
It
jingle.
was.
Get this man a beat. Let him start
Yeah.
writing.
I'm like
Yeah.
Eminem if he was like mixed with the Pillsbury Doughboy.
That is
Probably
true.
the single
Pillsbury-
greatest crossover event,
The Pillsbury Doughboy do be having salty and sweet snacks. So
right? That's
Yeah.
me. And I've got
Rolls?
spaghetti.
oh,
On my
okay,
pants?
Never mind.
What did you say? Rolls?
Rolls.
It's fair. It's not so much rolls. It's more one. I've got like an inner tube kind of style.
Ooh,
when
there
I
you go.
sit. Yeah. I'm not Michelin man level yet. I'm not a Dairy Queen fucking.
Or one of those
Cognac.
Soft serve
those like
cone.
those overly fat chunky babies where they have like 8 rolls on their arms.
Where you can't tell if it's a fucking dog, like a chow, or if it's
A chow
or a
no,
baby.
a Sharpei. That's
Yeah.
what it is. A Sharpei. Yeah.
Like, oh my god, that thing looks like an accordion.
Or like the caterpillar from Bug's Life.
Fuck yeah. The fucking European fat caterpillar.
Yeah.
I'm a beautiful butterfly.
Yeah. That's a good throwback Pixar movie.
Great
Yeah.
movie.
It's a great movie.
Watched it like a month ago.
Did you?
Really?
Yeah,
What made you go like Bug's Life?
because no, because my mom, she made dinner and then she's like, now who would like who had the poo poo platter? And it's just like all the flies in the fucking
Yeah.
bar. Oh my god, yeah. Just so
Fun fact,
funny.
she actually served him poop.
Yeah. I was thinking it was just a Netflix movie type of date with Hayden and Shaden. Shaden's like, hey, I'm gonna go make the popcorn. You pick a movie for us. And she comes back to the bed and Hayden has Bug's Life ready to rock and roll.
Just thinking he's gonna pick fucking like some romantic comedy, maybe a fucking Notting Hill or some bullshit with Hugh Grant. Comes back, it's fucking Bug's Life.
Wouldn't want it any other way.
Honestly, that's the kind of shit I would pull. If like Dell's like, I haven't seen any of these movies before, I'd be like, you're in luck.
Yeah.
While we're watching them.
Let me pull out my VHS collection. Yeah, blow the
As
dust
well as
off.
the VHS.
What do you think I have Disney Plus for Star Wars and Marvel? No, it's to watch the classics.
Yeah, idiot.
Immediately
Nerd.
just starts having sex.
Yeah.
Not even watching the movie.
It's like
First of all, are you kidding me? I'm definitely watching this while I'm having sex.
it's like you're ready to press play and you just look over. Why are your clothes off?
I've just got Tarzan on.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at my dick. For one so small, so strong.
It's like you're just like trying to look around her to try and like look at the screen, but she's just in front of you, trying to play a striptease on you, and you're like, no,
Babe, I'm trying to listen to Phil.
yeah, trash in the camp. Tarzan also heater of a soundtrack.
One of the best.
It's up there for sure, and Brother Bear too.
Oh, Brother Bear, yeah.
I've never seen Brother Bear. I think
Never
Brother
seen
Bear came
Brother
out
Bear?
in an awkward period of my life where I was like, hold on, it makes sense. When you're a kid, you love Disney movies, and Brother Bear came out when you were children, did it not?
Let me search that up real quick, Corey.
Right? I'm guessing Brother Bear is like a
Wait,
02?
Joaquin Phoenix played Kanai in Brother Bear?
early 2000s movie is my guess.
I'm thinking 02.
2003.
Okay, perfect.
Oh,
2003. That's the
Yeah.
year
What
that
the-
I am entering high school, right? So I'm at the age where I'm like, as an adult, I love Disney movies, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I'll watch cartoons forever. But, you know, you're like 13 years old and you're too cool to watch kids' movies now. So it's like I wasn't
Never.
watching Brother Bear, and then it's that couple of years of my life where I was a fucking loser.
Well, hey, you're never a loser, honey. You're
Not
great.
true.
I'm
Huge
proud of
loser,
you.
Long time. But I'm cool
Um,
now.
hey, next movie date with you and Dell. When she goes to get the popcorn, you're like, or you text her at 2
She
p.m. like,
hates cartoons, so it's
well,
not gonna fly.
what a loser.
Not hate. She just mostly doesn't like them.
Fine, I'll come over and watch Brother
There we
Bear
go.
with you.
Sold. Is that your favorite animated film?
It's just one of the. There's so many.
Favorite
It's-
like Disney/Pixar movie?
What's mine?
Yeah.
I mean,
I have an answer for this one.
Perfect. I actually don't know what Disney is. Never had a Disney.
Lion King. I've just
Classic,
always
yeah.
been.
Not a problem
I've,
there.
I've always been a fan of that one.
You tiny little Timon.
Yeah, I mean,
And
technically
Pumbaa.
is actually no, that'd be more Sony, right? Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, it said Disney and Pixar. It has to be like a Disney movie.
Yeah,
And no, like Marvel movies don't count now because Disney bought them.
yeah. I was
So
gonna get,
Lion King, that's your
Yeah,
cool answer.
that's my safe pick.
Okay, nothing wrong with The Lion King. It's a great movie. Hades, what you got?
Toy Story,
Also
Best
great.
Pixar.
Who's your favorite Toy Story
series.
character in there?
Buzz Lightyear.
To Infinity and Beyond.
I went as Buzz Lightyear one year.
Last year for Halloween.
Oh, close, okay.
I like
I mean,
I
Toy
like
Story
this-
characters would be a hilarious
actually-
adult group costume to do.
Oh, it would be. I actually still have like a Buzz Lightyear toy like that my mom got, but she like said like never open this, so it's like still in its packaging.
I'm part of the Roundup Gang with Jackie, Bullseye, and Stinky Pete.
Oh my fucking god!
I'm waiting for the main tagline here.
Yeah,
He's
come
really
on,
fucking it up.
there's the snake.
He's got like 20 sayings.
Now, when I go to a Roundup, it'll be fun.
It's like an orgy.
An hour now.
Oh my setting.
We'll just edit it till we get to the point. No,
Hey, howdy, hey.
nope,
Hello.
nope. Close, but not yet.
Vector.
Say it, you dick.
We gotta get this wagon train moving. Wait, I'm English, okay?
Okay.
Oh, give me a home where the buffalo and the deer and the antelope play. Yes, sir. This here's the finest little town in the West.
Oh,
Was on the range.
This is a lot.
God, seriously.
No?
Yo, when this hits, it's gonna be fucking insane.
How about the two of us mosey through town and see if we can spot any trouble? You gotta keep your eyes peeled for bandits.
For bandits.
What slides does he have?
For the sky.
That's the one I was looking for.
Oh damn! Reach for the sky is what we're waiting for.
No, it's not. There's one that's actually
Yeah,
better.
obviously.
That's a cute one. He's my best friend.
Poison the water hole.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
This town ain't big enough
That's
for
a
the two of us.
It's just a ripoff. Gotcha. Say it. Another classic. That's the other one. And then there's one more. That's the best Woody line that I assume we're all waiting on.
I like your breath, boys, but first I'm gonna sing a little song. There's a
That's the one.
Finally, Jesus
There's just
Christ!
look at it. It's got the little legs. I spent a pretty penny on this toy.
How much?
If you're wondering, I'm assuming it was like $40 something. I can't remember.
That's not bad.
If you're wondering, Cory, why do you have high quality Woody doll as an adult man? That's a good question, Woody. Dell and I call each other partner, and it started out as a bit, and then so for Christmas or birthday or some shit, I can't remember. I think it was Christmas. I got her this with like some other random stuff. It was like, because you're my partner, and now we live together,
Aw.
so now he's kind of mine also. So he sits on the part of our shelves. It's all of our partner stuff. It's
Aw.
adorable like that. And I don't know if you can see there all the cards and shit.
Wow.
Oh,
Look at how
love
cute
stuff.
you are.
Yeah,
How
Dell
s-
really has it all planned out here.
How sweet.
I have a sports corner in one of the higher shelves. That's right, because she
Sports,
can't really
sports.
see it because
Your
she's
one's-
short, so
one
it doesn't
section.
bother her so much. But it means a lot to me. Anyways, so that's
Anyways,
my tour of my house. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys next week.
yeah, that's all Cory has to offer us today. Hey, that is a Stanley Cup. And that is
That's
a
right.
great segue to our next topic of conversation.
Oh my
Whoa!
God.
The NHL is kicking off in just over a week's time. It's catching up quick. And about last week, there's a few retirements and a contract extension that happened. We get to the retirements first. Big Z, Zdeno Chara has announced his retirement. I got some accolades to list off here. 1,680 games played, 680 points. He was Stanley Cup champion and the captain of the 2011 Boston Bruins.
Gross.
He won the Norris in 2009. He was on Ottawa, the Islanders twice, Boston, and Washington. And if I'm not mistaken, he signed a one-day contract with the Bruins to retire as a Bruin. Boys, what are your thoughts on Big Z hanging him up? No longer. And fun fact, there is no longer any active NHL players who have lost a playoff series to the Toronto Maple Leafs. He was the last one.
Wow.
A nice
mean,
stat.
I mean, for me, Zdeno Chara was like an icon for hockey when I was younger. Like, just playing on him with Chell and stuff like that. It's just, who the fuck is a 6'7" freak
Try
of
s-
nature
Try 6'9", baby.
on skates, right? Or was
Yeah.
that just, yeah, like, I just remember whenever you and I would play Jeff, and I'd pick Boston just because Zdeno Chara hit you, and that was like the one way to piss you off. So, I mean, it was definitely time for Chara to hang up the skates, and a good day for Boston Bruin fans everywhere.
Fuck Zdeno Chara.
Yeah.
And fuck the Boston Bruins, for that
Yeah.
matter. My favorite thing about Zdeno Chara is I don't remember where I saw the interview or what it was from, or if I read it or what it was, but he was talking about how he doesn't really fight. Like it was pretty rare to see him throw hands, right? And even like throw really big hits, you didn't see him do it all the time, right? Like he muscles you off the puck and he made hits and he would fight every now and again. But I remember this thing and it was him saying, it's like, I have to constantly remind myself to not be as physical as I can be. He's like, because I could really, really hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Because you think there's guys in the NHL who are like 5'10" and 180 pounds. And you're like, okay, he's a smaller, like a normal sized human being. It's like
Yeah.
me. It's like obviously muscled, but you know, same kind of thing. And it's like if Zdeno Chara was skating full power at me, I don't care what pads you put me in, but if he runs me, I'm gonna die. And
Yeah.
that was the thing I appreciate about him. It was like he was great, tons of skill, size, blah 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 blah. But it was just like this guy who just like knows he could absolutely clown dudes if he wanted to, and just
He's
like you saw,
self-aware.
anytime he would fight, almost every time he ragdolls them.
Yeah.
Because who's gonna beat the man in a fight? You can't reach his face. Towering over you, 200 plus pounds, just fucking.
And
raining
just
down
so much muscle mass because he's just such a
Right?
strong human being. And he's the closest thing to a giant without being one.
Didn't he? Was it him who ran Pacioretty into the
Who
stanchion?
legit almost killed him? Yes.
Yeah, and that wasn't even full power.
Yeah, he almost committed murder, and that's why they had to change the stanchions on the boards.
Yeah, they'd be like, a guy almost
They-
died.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, change this
Instead-
up a little bit.
Instead of the hard padding, they changed it to curved glass so that you kind of just like roll off it and your momentum isn't
Yeah, your
completely
head and
stopped.
neck can't get like stuck on it and then rip off your body like you're
Yeah.
in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
which almost happened to me.
It legit. I thought he was dead on the ice, but yeah,
That's his
Chara.
highlight of his career.
Yeah, yeah,
Number
Chara
one.
wasn't the most flashy player. Wasn't flashy at all.
Mhm.
But just he paid his dues, man. I hated him for the longest
Mhm.
time, but it wasn't like a Marchand kind of hate.
He's not a
Where
douchebag.
it was more I just hated him because he was the captain of my least favorite team growing
Yeah.
up, and I hated how big of a person he was and how much he just bodied everyone. It just made me despise him. But overall, great career. It's always it's always good to have a Stanley Cup and a Norris under your belt. As a
Yeah.
defenseman, so it's nothing to complain about with that. And Hayden, I agree with you. I think it was time for him to hang him up. I think it was time for him to hang him up like a few seasons ago.
Oh yeah, definitely.
2
But
years ago.
I mean, anytime someone's going to give you a contract, you're going to take it if you still feel like you got some gas in the tank. So
Hey,
why
do you want $1
would
million to play a game for a year? I guess so. I'm pretty slow. They're like, nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Just use your really long stick. Just
Yeah.
poke it away
Honest-
from everybody.
It's like, honestly, you probably shouldn't sign me, but like, no, it's fine. Just take it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Sucker.
Yeah. Moving on. One of my favorite players growing up, or ever since he came into the league, PK Subban announces his retirement. 13 seasons, 834 games played, 467 points, 2013 Norris champion. Did his time in Montreal, Nashville, and New Jersey. I was surprised when he retired. I'll be honest. I thought he had some more years left because there's a difference between overpaid and like bad. Like I still think Subban had some gas left in the tank, but I just don't think he was the $9 million he was getting paid in New Jersey. I still think he was able to get. I'll turn that off. Time to fetch a few dollars elsewhere on another team, maybe like a Seattle or an Arizona or something. But Corey, I'll toss it over to you. What was your reaction when you saw that Subban announced his retirement?
Took me by surprise. Like you said, I thought, the guy was definitely better than some of the defensemen that are currently employed in the NHL. I can't see that if he really wanted to, he could have got a PTO somewhere,
Yeah.
right? Like someone would have been like, yeah, sure, come try out. And if we like what we see, we'll give you a low end contract. I have to imagine that PK though looks at it and, guys know themselves and he probably figures like, I'm not the guy I was. I don't have the wheels that I used to have anymore, right? Like was never the best defenseman, but he doesn't want to play for a lower contract maybe. And he's the kind of guy who's got the personality to be like, I'm going to retire and you're going to see me this fall on TSN or on what, right? Because it's like, he's so charismatic. He was so good for the game. As much as like you hear the boring loser hockey people like, well, he's a personality problem in the line. Like, shut up. He's a real guy. And I was a big PK fan. I was hoping that maybe the Canucks would get him on like a PTO or like a low end deal. But them's the breaks. He's great. I love PK Subban. Most exciting guy to watch on some bad Montreal teams for a while.
He was so much fun to watch, especially on like the cup runs from like 2009 to 2011, 2012. He was just electric to watch.
Right? Goes to Nashville, pretty good there. Nashville wins that deal for a couple of years, right? And then, Jersey kind of putters out, but Jersey wasn't very good, so I don't blame PK. But I'll miss seeing him on the ice. Big PK fan over here.
Hey,
Yeah, Corey definitely just nailed the head or whatever you want to fucking say. I don't really know.
Hit the nail on the head.
There you go. I had it in my head, but it just didn't compute with my brain. I was
Too many nails in there.
I was trying to think of other things to say about PK.
Too much nails in your head to figure that out.
All right, that's my.
Hayden's just gonna say he's black.
No, honestly, like
best black NHL player all time.
I mean, probably
Well,
Wayne Simmons. PK Subban.
That's silly. Mike Greer.
I don't know any other like black NHL players other than PK Subban, obviously his brother Jordan Subban, and then Wayne Simmons, right?
I believe Oliver Kylington.
Shillington, but I'll let you pass.
Is it how you say his name? I've never heard anyone say it out loud. I just see it. I have
Yeah.
him in my hockey league, and I've just been like, oh, that's Kylington for sure.
Yeah, it's Shillington. It's weird. Throws me off every time. It's
What a
weird.
stupid way to say that name.
He's Swedish, I'm pretty sure too.
Yeah, he's
so-
got some sweet in there, I know, but like still, that
The European aspect probably makes it weird.
K Y. You're like, shh. You're like, how?
it doesn't make sense. I know. But Hayden, back to you before we
Yeah,
interrupted.
anyways.
Sorry.
Before Corey, you just have to step in and try and throw him under the bus. But I have a nice Montreal jersey. It's a Camilleri jersey here, but I mean,
That's a throwback.
absolute throwback. But I mean, PK was definitely someone to watch when I was watching the Canadians, because I
Yeah.
was like, oh, like I like the Canadians at a time. I also like the Sharks at a time too. But no, seeing PK Subban, he was absolutely electrifying. For his his first 5 years in Montreal, it was just like, who the fuck is this guy? I was
Yeah.
like, a stud right away.
Yeah.
And then, not like he quickly fell off, but I mean, yeah, he fell off as soon as, his years went by, and he was a big hitter kind of guy, and then just diminished his career probably.
Yeah. I mean, some of his best highlights of like against Boston, a lot of his best highlights are against Boston, where he just tying the games up late in the period, overtime winning games in double overtime and playoffs, tying it up with 2 minutes left in game 7 against Boston in 2011. In the Eastern Conference Finals, obviously Boston went on to win in overtime to go to the Stanley Cup Finals, but I mean, he played a massive role in that. His breakaway goal at home in the Bell Center, one of the greatest playoff goals of all time, when he was fresh out of the box, and he always had the most electrifying celebrations too. It always got you pumped up. His hit on Marchand when he just legit stopped him in his tracks, and Marchand looked like he was from another planet.
I was just looking that hit up right now.
He legit almost Zdeno Chara Pacioretty'd him. It was such a big hit. It was, when you see some hits where you're like, okay, that was a big hit, but it was clean.
Took him clear out of his skates.
Some hits look like, okay, the offensive player had enough momentum where it didn't look like he was incredibly phased by it, where the hit almost just knocked him off his tracks kind of thing. This one, you felt it when PK Subban hit him. And anywhere watching that, you felt the impact in your chest.
It's like
Given
that scene out
we were on
of Doctor
TV.
Strange when the lady hits him and he
Yeah.
goes out of his body.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened to
It
Marchand.
was that happened to him.
That was the most I've ever seen someone. I've obviously watched Scott Stevens hit reel
Elbow
and
pokery in the head, yeah.
and everyone's legit knocked out. But that's that's one of the few hits where I truly see someone get fucked up from a hit, and they're just
Oomph.
yeah, Marchand just was not himself. So PK Subban definitely brought a lot of electric factory to the NHL, and sad to see him go, but I'm sure he has a career in media for the next fucking 15 to 20 years. This guy's gonna be a rock star in that area. He's gonna probably make more money in the media industry than he did in the NHL. He was just born for it. You're gonna see him everywhere, like a Kevin Bieksa type of thing. So I'm excited for the future of PK Subban, and it was fun while it lasted. But question, because I think Chara is, but is PK Subban a Hall of Famer?
No,
Yeah, I don't think.
probably not.
Unfortunately, yeah.
No cups. He has a Norris, so you're like, okay. But
I think it's
how
just,
many years would you say, how often was he the best defenseman in the NHL?
4
I think
maybe.
you could argue,
Maybe.
3 or 4.
But even
Maybe.
then, you're like, and that's probably wrong.
Yeah.
Very good. He was a very good NHL defenseman.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably not. Not in the Hall.
He'd be in like the Hall of Very Good.
Yeah, he'd be in the Hall of
Yeah.
Fame if the Hall of Fame was like exciting players. You know what I mean?
He's
like,
a Hall of Famer on and off the ice because he's donating like $10
Mm.
million a year to the Montreal.
humanitarian wise, yeah.
Yeah, like humanitarian. Like he was a leader on and off the ice. He's a Hall of Fame player in that aspect, just like one of the best people to ever play in the NHL. But in terms of like on ice, I don't think so. He also won the gold medal for Canada in 2014.
Mm.
So he's a gold medal under his belt, but I don't think it's enough to get in the Hall of Fame.
I mean,
think
outside of Carey Price, who's been a better Canadian for the last 15 years.
Yeah, no.
it's hard to say.
Saku Koivu,
Yeah.
right? You're like, I guess him.
Yeah, it's hard to say anyone other than PK Subban.
Outside of Price.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
not same price. But
There you go.
all right, and then last but not least, Keith Yandel. 1,100 games played,
Iron Man.
619 points. The current Ironman streak leader at 989 games straight played before he was health bombed on Philly. For no fucking reason at all.
Probably should have been a little bit before that. The guy could have been scratched a handful of times.
Yeah,
he
but
was
also
not good in his last year.
But to me, this
Keep
is like
putting him out there.
this is the Eli Manning situation. Philly, you're not fucking winning anything. Why
Mhm.
are you gonna play a junior player one game and then put Yandel back in?
Yeah.
You may as well just sit Yandel for the rest of the fucking year if you're gonna end his Ironman streak. That's what I would do if I was Keith Yandel. I'd be like, do you know what? Fuck this. I'm not playing for the rest of the year if you're just gonna cut my streak like that for one game. Like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that was just like a pithy move.
Yeah, remember when that happened to Eli Manning when he had like all those consecutive starts for the New York Giants and then they scratched him, played like Davis fucking Webb or something like that, and then they were like, "Yeah, Eli, you're back in next game." It's like, why? What was the point of that? What did you get out of it? What did you get out of it?
Just to see you suffer.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it doesn't make sense. But he is the current Ironman streak leader. It's probably going to go to Phil Kessel this year.
Build the thrill, baby.
Knock on wood. But he was drafted in Arizona, went to New York, then Florida. His best years were probably New York, Florida, and then finished off in Philadelphia. There isn't much to say on Keith Yandel. He was a good offensive defenseman for a few years, for like a 3-4 year span. Was never really the best defensively, but he was pretty good on the power play specialist, just good in the offensive end. 619 points. Like it's not too shabby for a defenseman. You guys have any word on Keith Yandel?
I don't have much to say about. Sorry, you go, Hayde. You go.
I was just gonna say I don't have much to say either. I never really followed along with Keith Yandel up until last year, last year when that whole healthy scratch ending the Ironman series thing came out, and I was like, well, that's just fucking pointless. Like,
Yeah.
like you literally just healthy scratched him for one game and it ended his streak. Like that's just disrespectful.
And then he played the next game. Like it just didn't make sense to me.
It didn't make sense whatsoever. Hella disrespectful. And yes, it totally reminds me of like that Eli Manning fucking situation where it's like this guy's giving you nothing but respect, utmost respect for how many years, and you just do that. Like it doesn't make sense.
The one thing I would say is maybe because it was just like it was Yandel's first year with the team. Like he only played, what did he play, 1 year with Philly?
Yeah.
Just the 1 year. So like it's not like he was on Arizona. Like if it was like Shane Doan doing that, maybe that'd be like the same if Shane Doan had the Ironman streak and they cut him for one game and then put him back in. Like that would be like, what the fuck are you doing? But like I just don't see a point. Like Philly ain't going fucking anywhere. You may as well just scratch someone else and keep him in there. Keep him as a seventh defenseman. Put him on PP2 and maybe give him fucking 6 minutes a game. Keep him playing. Keep the Ironman streak going. Why the fuck not? You could have gone to like nearly 1,000. But because that's all really Yandel had going for him was the Ironman streak. But
yeah, he wasn't great the last
No.
couple of years. Like his last year in Florida, like he always put up some points, but was just like not reliable.
Yeah.
But
You
at the same time, the guy had like, I think 10-ish seasons of at least 40 points, which
Yeah.
is great for a defenseman.
Yeah.
I would kill it if a couple Canucks could hit 40 points on the back
Yeah.
end, right? Like, please, God, someone other than Quinn. But yeah, he's like that kind of guy who's like just solid power play defenseman, not a great defenseman.
Yeah.
Managed to stay healthy, which is very impressive in its own right.
Yeah, 100%.
No one, like, guys can't do it, especially in hockey. Yeah, you got 82 games, you're skating up and down, you're getting hit all night. It's a bummer. And to like not have never needed time off was just like Mr. Consistency. There's something to say for that. You got 3 different guys that retired in like weird ways of like being great.
Yeah.
Nino Chara, just Hall of Fame defenseman. PK Subban, electrifying kind of guy, in and out of the game. And then Keith Yandel, just Mr. fucking Bruce Willis from Unbreakable.
Yeah. And he's one of the funniest guys in the league too. Like the way he just sonked people. That was his thing. The sonk, where he would fake pass it behind the net and people would skate by and he would just yell sonk at them because they went for his fake pass. It was hilarious. But he was just known as like a really funny offensive defenseman who was never really great defensively. But like you said, I mean, 10 seasons of 40 plus points, that's not too shabby.
Nothing to
yeah.
look down upon.
We'll probably go to the biggest one, Nathan Mackinnon.
Retired?
Yeah, Nathan McKinnon retired. Becomes the highest paid player in NHL history, AAV wise. 8 years, $12.6 million a year, just over $100 million. Overpaid, just right, or underpaid?
I think right.
Right.
Probably definitely could get more. The same way a lot of people could get more, like how we were talking about Makar, right? Like Makar could get more. I think McKinnon could get more. I think a lot of people could get more, but the fact that he is the highest AAV player now, I think it's just right.
I will say for this year, it's an overpay. You know what I mean? Cap hasn't gone up yet. They're saying like, and that's why he gets this deal, right? Like, is Nathan McKinnon the best player in the NHL? No, he's not, right? He brings a lot of stuff and he's one of the best players in the NHL. But with everyone saying like, yeah, the cap's going to go up. If it's not next year, it's the year after. And Colorado looks at their books and they're like, okay, I think we can swing it. You don't want to do a bridge deal.
No.
Right? You don't want to be like, okay, Nate, how about we go 3 years at 10 million? And then it's like, and he puts up 100 points for the next 3 years. Like, and now you pay him 15, right?
Yeah.
So I get it. I think it's a just right contract in the general sense of the whole contract. I think the problem now is the cap's not going to go up that much. And Colorado's got a lot of guys who,
I mean,
like, it's all that depth that wins you
a
cup that you're like, well, now how can you afford it? Like, you're going to go to the thing. It's like, can you be that one exception like Tampa Bay?
I don't know if you saw the thing, but it did say that the NHL has given NHL preparing teams for a sharp salary cap increase over the next 3 seasons.
Yeah,
so
like it's going to go up a few million each season.
Yeah, so I think it's supposed to go up like a decent amount so that they have a much better core than Toronto, I would say, locked up. They got Cale Makar, Nathan McKinnon, Landeskog, and Rantanen locked up for at least the next 5 years, which is better than Matthews, Marner, Tavares, Nylander. So, and they already have the cup, right? I think that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
I think if Colorado wins the cup, McKinnon might not even do his extension yet, right? Because I just think he doesn't want anything on his mind going like, because he wants to try and win the cup. That was his main thing. He's like, I'm 9 seasons in and I haven't won shit. And then the next year he wins the cup. So I think that was a big thing why he just signed on. And maybe he took more than when he said he was like, I would take less again, which I think 12.6 will be his less. But I was expecting around the 10.5 range, like a Matthews contract, maybe like that would be his less. But I think when he said, he was like, yeah, I would take less again. And then he went and won the cup. He was like, okay, well, fuck this. I'll just get paid.
Yeah.
Like
And
that's
I mean, it
maybe what
makes
I was
sense.
thinking.
I look
But
at it and I'm like, he's doubling his money starting next
Yeah.
year, like 6'3" to 12'6". And you're like, okay, well, Eric Johnson comes off the books next year and that's $6 million. So you're fine.
yeah. So I think the contract is just right. If anything, he might become underpaid.
In like 2 years.
Yeah.
And
Like
see
the Mahomes
whoever
contract.
has a contract coming up that's like a young stud.
Yeah. Where would you rank Mackinnon in the league?
Are we talking about just like forwards,
Skaters.
like defensemen also?
Yeah.
It pushes him down a little bit because I think it's so much harder to get like a true number one. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's so rare to really
Like-
get like that guy.
He's number 4 for me in the league.
Of all skaters.
Yeah.
Who's your top 3?
McDavid,
Uh-huh.
Makar,
Uh-huh.
Matthews, McKinnon,
Yeah.
Draisaitl.
That's fair. I'm trying to
Maybe-
rack my brain like off the cuff to be like
maybe
who's better?
maybe Kucherov in front of Draisaitl. I flip-flop between the two. Because I think Kucherov,
Mhm.
when healthy, he's fucking unbelievable.
See,
But-
but when I think about it, I'm like, if you're talking about like a guy for just 1 year and like fully healthy on my team to win a playoff series, I would probably rather have like Victor Hedman than.
I'm just talking about
Then
players in
McKinnon.
general.
But that's what I mean of like, and like it's hard for me to go like D against forwards in that sense, just because I'm like, fuck, if I have Victor Hedman, I can put him on the ice for 28 minutes to 30 minutes of this game. He's going to play in every single situation. You know what I mean? Like, and then McKinnon, you're like, I'm going to get 20 minutes out of this guy. He's does everything really, really well. He's fantastic. He's an all-star. He's one of the best in the game. But I'm like, would I rather have like a number one defenseman? So it's like, who's like better in that sense? That's why it's tough. If I'm going just forwards, I would rather have Nathan McKinnon than Austin Matthews.
That's fair.
I go McDavid just because you can't. No one's better than McDavid.
No one's better.
I would go McKinnon second, and McKinnon I would almost put him above McDavid in the sense only of like the guy has the will. You know what I mean?
He's
Like,
way more like
he
physical. and
wants to
shit.
win
Yeah.
that game, and he will drag his team
Yeah.
to winning. He plays with an edge. He'll hit, he'll fight, he'll do whatever he has to win that game. McDavid is just like better at hockey.
Yeah.
You know, like he just skates faster, scores more. Like he's just the
No.
skills there. If you could like ingrain that like heart of McKinnon into McDavid, he would be insane.
I agree 100%. As time moves on, we've gotten pretty deep into this episode and we haven't talked about the NFL week 3.
Pigskin.
We will
where
start
Hayden
on
comes to life.
we will start on Thursday night football. Starting at the beginning of the week with the prime times. We're going to cover all the prime time games and maybe some other big games that jump out to us.
Prime time.
Cleveland defeats Pittsburgh in the AFC North rival game 29-17 with a wild play at the end of the game that resulted in a Denzel Ward touchdown. Hayden, what were your thoughts on this game?
Like,
But a tuba?
that's a fucking loud ass fart, man. Like it was fucked. It was just so boring. Like other than the George Pickens like catch that
Oh
you
my
could
Oh,
compare
God.
to Odell. Personally, I'm still a big fan of Odell's catch over George Pickens. I think situational Odell obviously had way more going on, but I do think Pickens was a little bit more athletic to just manipulate your body, go parallel, like absolutely insane. And then the touchdown at the end of the game absolutely saved my fantasy week because I had the Browns defense, and at one point they were at 1 point, and then the next they're at 10, and I'm like, well, fuck, let's go.
That's beautiful.
Oh, it was like poetic justice for me. But I mean, like, what do you expect? It's Jacoby Brissett and Mitch Trubisky, and it's like it could have just been more of a battle of the running backs. Like Najee, Kareem Hunt, and Nick Chubb. Like that's who you're watching in that game.
Yeah.
You know what's so disappointing about that game is that for the last 8 years ish, not 8, 5 years, maybe 5 years, the AFC North has been so great, so fun to watch. And you see how important having a average or better quarterback is in the NFL, because you look at both these teams, and if you put a number 16 guy on either of these teams and you're like, fuck, they could win a Super Bowl this year, right?
Yeah.
Like, who's like the most average-ish
Kirk
kind of
Cousins.
quarterback? Kirk Cousins is perfect,
the
right?
Very
Kirk
most
Cousins is
average
good,
quarterback.
but he is not great by any means.
His
You put
career
Kirk Cousins on the fucking Browns or the Steelers.
Yeah, good team.
Great team. Both have strong D. The O-lines aren't great. Pittsburgh's is terrible. Cleveland's is all right. But they have, like, receiver-wise, they both have weapons. You got Njoku, you got Cooper. Kareem Hunt can catch better than most receivers, right? You've got Claypool's pretty good. Deontay Johnson's great. Fryermouth. I don't know how to say his name.
Fryermuth.
I'll never learn it properly.
George Pickens now.
Stupid. Pickens is a rookie. You're like, tons of talent on both these teams, and yet we're subjected to watching Jacoby Brissett, who is like top level bad quarterback, and Mitch Trubisky, who should not be starting in the NFL. Like, he's terrible.
Backup central.
He is.
He was a great backup to Josh Allen that one game where Josh like totally destroyed the team, and Trubisky came in and just said like, "Oh yeah, we'll run it."
Yeah, Mitch Trubisky is like the 38th best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
Right? That's a great backup to have, because that means you're like the 5th or 6th best guy.
Yeah.
But come on, start the rookie at this point, because you're getting nothing out of this guy.
Because you know why I agree with that is because when you got a backup, yes, you want them to kind of learn and all that. You know,
learn from a good quarterback.
Learn the ropes. And you also kind of want to learn from like a vet. That's when you typically get a backup quarterback.
Who's been around for the last 10 years.
Is when your starting quarterback is like either on the ropes, like I guess like near the end of their career kind of thing. Like the best case scenario would be like a Miami situation with like Fitzpatrick as the starter, and then Pickens comes in. Because like Fitzpatrick, yeah, he wasn't the best. He was a journeyman. He played on 14 different teams,
but was capable of being great.
Yeah, but at least he was capable of bringing something to the table. Where Trubisky has shown that he's
not.
One every 7 games he'll play an above average game, right? So like, what's Pickens really learning watching Trubisky and like learning from him? Like, he's not really learning much. So I feel like you may as well just like, hey, let's go out there and like give her a go. Just fucking just go do your thing.
This next week for Pittsburgh would be a great week because they're going up against the Jets.
Yeah. Throw Pickett in. And even even if you don't put Pickett in, put Mason Rudolph in.
Yeah.
I want a shot.
Okay, no.
Try anybody but Mitch Trubisky.
Fuck that. I'd rather watch Trubisky over fucking Mason Rudolph, man. Fuck that guy.
Wow.
Why do you
hate him so much?
I can't stand Mason Rudolph, man. Like I honestly, great quarterback competition right there. Trubisky versus Rudolph. It's clear that they like Trubisky over Rudolph. Steelers do.
Big yikes. Why do they have all 3 guys?
Right? I don't know why. Like, they're taking up your 3 quarterbacks that aren't starting caliber yet are taking up your roster. Like, get rid of fucking one. Put him on the.
They've got to have the worst quarterback room.
100%. They have 3 backups.
Right.
At least Flacco.
And a rookie that's not even like a surefire guy. You know, like no one's looking at Pickett and being like, "Oh, just give him a year and he'll light the world on fire."
Like at least Flacco's like laying his hammer on the table and throwing for like over 250 yards on like Trubisky.
Yo, I don't give a fuck, Flacco. I love it.
Flacco, top end backup quarterback.
Flacco threw it what was it, around 109 times in 2
100
games?
102 times.
Just out
in
there
2
slinging it
games.
because he knows he's going to be benched. So he's like,
Yeah.
"The fuck do I care?
I
I'm
may
going
as
to go
well
out there and
send
show
it.
out."
Yeah. Give my receivers a chance. Pepper them with throws.
Yeah, let's go, Garrett Wilson.
Exactly, right? But yeah, it was a Thursday night stinker. It was just funny. I saw some tweets where it was like, I feel terrible for all the alternate spreads of Pittsburgh plus 10.5 or whatever, because they lost by 12 off of that final touchdown.
That's a bad
And
beat.
also,
beat.
Claypool had over under 35 receiving yards, and he was at 40. And on the last play, apparently he got credited with -6 receiving yards. That brought him down to 34,
Oh,
which also doesn't make sense because the ball was spotted on the 4-yard line, and you can only get negative receiving yards if you go 6 yards back of the line
Yeah,
of scrimmage. So how did he get -6 if he was on the 4? Doesn't make sense.
because a ref bet the under.
Yeah. But Hayden, if we did have to judge our picks, we were wrong about the under because we guessed under 38.5. But
oh yeah. I mean, fuck's sakes, man. Like,
we would have got it if fucking Cleveland didn't score that last
I
touchdown.
I actually think that was the first over in all of primetime games this year so far.
Ugh.
But I mean, going over 38.5 shouldn't be the hardest thing in the world.
No, yeah. The fact that it was that low, it should be beat.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's move on to some of the Sunday slate. Hayden, we will start with your Saints and Panthers. Unfortunate
not.
loss to the Carolina. Just because it's your team, I just want a brief rundown of what you
agree.
saw from your boys. Unfortunate divisional loss. What happened?
We'll keep it short and simple here. Jameis Winston playing with 4 fractures in his back. The guy has a heart of a champion. But
That's a real back injury.
After the first half, like, it was clear that he just didn't have like the back power to make some throws, and he was missing wide open players. Like, there was a big 3rd and 3 in the Carolina red zone, and Alvin Kamara was just sitting right at the first down marker, and Winston throws it like to the right corner, and it's like, Jameis, what the fuck are you doing? Like, he's trying to make a play, and I get why. It's just because I feel like he was like, oh, we're in a hole. It's like, you're down 10 points or you're down 13 points. Just do the smart play, get Kamara, get Thomas, get like anyone going. And the only bright spot, the defense played amazingly. The defense only allowed 13 points. They allowed a 75-yard touchdown run and 2 field goals. The 7 points from the fumble, that was very unusual for Kamara. Kamara's only fumbled the ball 7 times, so that was a shocker. But the big bright spot, Chris Olave. 13 targets, 9 receptions, 158 yards. And like, this guy, you can see his route running and how silky smooth it is. He had like 4 12-yard out routes that just looked absolutely like pristine. Had the corner turned around, and I want to give my flowers to Marshawn Lattimore. In 3 weeks, he's only allowed 3 catches for 17 yards on him. Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I hate that such great defensive play is being wasted right now because of poor offensive decisions.
And it's weird because on Sunday I opened and I didn't get to see much games because I was delivering, so I wasn't able to watch a lot. So I didn't see what Chris Olave did. I don't think they have him in the NFL.com because his stats aren't up here under the receiving. So I didn't know he went off for that much. Like, it's amazing. Rookie, like, first round NFL rookie receivers, there's like a 90% chance by week 4 they're not going to be considered rookies anymore. There's going to be another dog in this league. Like, there's going to be another receiver you have to look out for because receivers progress that much. And it's really nice to see that Chris Olave is progressing on the path that his
Projected
potential
to.
was to. Hopefully you can keep this up because 158 yards is pretty good.
I think he's officially taken over Michael Thomas in like point per game stats for fantasy. Like I was viewing it today, and Olave for me has projected 15.88 points, and I think Thomas in like the non-point per first down, but if you add like 3 or 4 points, Thomas is only at like 13.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to see, but no, Olave has the deep route running and the precise route running, like and hands.
Yeah.
So
Not like all those other receivers with those stumps.
Yeah.
yeah,
Assholes.
not like the catch leader or anyone. No, never.
I wonder if there will be a bit of a market correction on Olave if he keeps it up, right? Because it's like right now teams are like, we have to guard Michael Thomas first, right?
Yeah, no, literally. Like
Can they be like, and here's the difference is I like Jameis, but you live by the crab, you die by the crab. Like the man sometimes just sucks, right?
No,
like
literally.
That's just who Jameis is. Sometimes he'll throw 500 yards and 6 touchdowns, and then sometimes he'll throw for 170 yards and 3 picks.
Yeah.
That's just who the guy is going to be forever.
The craziest thing is like I know he has it in him because he literally showed it in the fourth quarter against Atlanta, how efficient and how precise he was. He was making all the right reads. But then even watching back some of the game, because I'm an insane fan that I do that, I go back and I watch games and I literally look at like players who get open right away. And I hate to say it, but like Michael Thomas, he makes one cut and he already has like 3 yards of separation. And it's fucking insane. And it's like, just literally throw it to him. This is why Breeze and Thomas got to 149 catches, was because after one move, Thomas was open on a slant route. And it's like, if you could take a free 6 yards every fucking play, would you not do that? Of course you would do that.
Breeze is looking his way before anyone else.
And that's a lot of bad things that I think Jameis is on too. He's only taking one side of the read and he's not going through progressions. I don't know if you guys saw the one-handed catch by Marquez Callaway in the end zone. Terrible
throw decision, by the way.
Terrible, because Olave on the backside ran a slant and was like 3 yards away from the other guy. It's a big headache. I'm sure like
it's like
the Saints have too good of a roster to be this poor. And I'm sure after a couple of games, like if we don't beat Minnesota, then it's like I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Minnesota's not bad.
They're not bad, but like they're also middle of the pack, I feel like, where
Minnesota's the perfect team that beats good teams and loses to bad teams.
Yeah.
Like they almost lost to Detroit. Like how did they almost lose to Detroit? I don't know.
Because Detroit's a bunch of scrappy underdogs this year. Hayden, come on.
I know, but Detroit, like
Jared Goff
still
is
Detroit.
all right.
They're still Detroit. Like they're 1-2, right? Like they're not world beaters. But they definitely should have closed that game versus Minnesota.
I don't think the Saints are world beaters anymore either. You don't have the quarterback for it. You guys won't be world beaters because Jameis, even if he was healthy, you're like, you'll win more than you'll lose, but you're gonna lose more than you should.
I was telling Donald this, and I said
that's a bar right there.
I'll make a proper judgment on Jameis when he's healthy. I don't think it's fair to do it when he has
to judge him over the
last
5 years of his career.
Yeah. The last 5 years, I like.
His back hurt all of them.
No, I don't want to get into. I don't want to get into all of it. He didn't have what he should have had in. No, shut up! Stop it! You know what?
I like Jameis Winston. I'm just telling you, he's going to be a guy who's
end topic. Because
I have one question for you. And it is, if the Saints don't do like very well this year, right? Mm-hmm. And you wind up with like a bottom half of the league pick, right? You're in the top 15 or something. How hard are you guys going? Like, we need to draft a quarterback.
Well, this is the tough thing. We don't have a first round pick this year because we traded it to. But
for who? For what?
For Philly to move up and get like Trevor Penning and Olave this year. Yeah, obviously Trevor Penning. Injured,
well, are you hoping for a free agent then?
No. This isn't. No. the biggest play is it all depends on the teams in good situations that do bad this year. So like if the Chargers suck this year, or if the Cowboys suck this year, or Miami, they're not going to suck this year because they're actually competent now. Or if some good team like just sucks, but it's like they're a coach away. Who's the one coach that's going to come back from Fox? And who still has his rights? New Orleans.
Sean
So
Payton.
I feel like teams are going to pay for Sean Payton's rights, and that'll give us picks.
You think so? To get a quarterback? You think a team's going to give us a first?
I don't know if it's going to be a quarterback. I don't know if it's going to be any other player. I just know Sean Payton is probably worth a first-round pick this year, maybe a second, or 2 firsts, 1 in back-to-back years. I don't know.
I think that's crazy, but I hope
do
it
as
happens
well.
for
But
you.
remember what happened with John Gruden. So
that's you'd think people maybe learn their lesson from that one, though.
yeah, but see, John Gruden's kind of an asshat. But that's the whole projection. We can stop talking about the Saints because there's so many other games that we got to move on to.
Yeah,
I want to quickly say the Carolina Panthers, because
not a good team.
No, and you know why they're not a good team? Baker Mayfield. Like, I don't understand what's happening here, because you look at Baker Mayfield and you're like, he's a more talented quarterback than the guys they've had for the last 5 years, right? And on a talent level alone, you're like, yes, he is. There's a reason why he was the number 1 pick. How can the guys who came before him, who suck, get the ball? Like, how does Christian McCaffrey have 2 catches in that game? 2 catches for 7 yards. He's your best. Like, and DJ Moore.
That's the exact same way I feel about Kamara. Kamara only has
for 2
5
yards,
catches for 3 weeks.
How is it like? How are you not throwing the ball to those
Ben
2
McAdoo
guys?
is also their offensive coordinator.
Terrible.
So
Garbage.
like, it's not even that hard to realize. Get the
Christian
ball to your
McCaffrey
best
is like
player.
the best football player when he's healthy on the planet. Like, you can't stop him.
Does the
He's
NFL
so great in space? Little white guy coming in and out. You're like, yeah, look at him go. He'll get 200 all-purpose yards every week if you just throw it to him. Like, throw a couple screens. What are you doing?
Does
Corey, you're my mind
do
right now.
fucking professional leagues not learn their fucking lesson? Quit recycling offensive coordinators and coaches. Try something else.
Especially
Fucking
Ben McAdoo has sucked for a while.
Hire someone from fucking college who ran like an air raid offense when you have guys
hire
like
a kid who plays Madden a lot.
Like hire someone who plays like air raid when you have McCaffrey, DJ Moore, and Robbie Anderson. Say what you want about Anderson, but he's a good receiver.
Yeah.
But hire someone who can bring something new. Ben McAdoo literally ruined careers when he was coaching for the Giants.
Yeah.
Fucking forget him. Why is he?
It makes me angry because I have McCaffrey in a league, and I'm
like,
you.
Why does he have a job in this league? Does no one pay attention to what he did?
No, I totally.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense whatsoever. But Corey, you're literally speaking my mind when, like, the Giants are actually using Saquon this year. Yep. That is one that has turned around that I've loved. They're using Saquon this year, and that's how you utilize him. Why isn't McAdoo? Why isn't Carmichael using their running backs the way like they should be used? I don't know.
Wild.
Let's talk about the rest of the games because Hayden said let's keep it short, and we talked about the Saints Carolina Panthers for like 25 minutes.
That's right.
Fucking Corey.
All right, I'm gonna run through some games.
We'll say the first word that comes to our head.
Well, actually, I do want to talk about a couple because there were some big ones. Colts upset the Chiefs.
Ha! Hilarious.
Absolute fucking tragedy.
Colts get shut out by the Jags, and then the next week they beat the Chiefs. What the fuck?
I mean, to be fair, coming into the year, we all thought the Colts were going to be a better team. Did we not? Did we not think they'd be a good team this year?
I thought they were going to win the division.
You look at how they played last year, and you're like, they were pretty good with Carson Wentz. You're like, Matt Ryan's better than Carson Wentz.
And
should at least be on par.
And
come on. Carson Wentz fucking sucks.
Oh yeah, no, I know, but I'm saying this year it's hard.
Oh
to say
yeah, right now
better.
after 3 games, sure. But coming into the season though, you're like, this
I thought it was a
team
big
be better
upgrade.
than they were
Upgrade,
last
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Pittman was taking a jump too at the first 2 weeks.
Right?
He had good
Pittman,
weeks.
yeah, Pittman had a
I
huge
won't write
first
the
2
Colts
weeks.
off yet because
I won't either.
the Colts should have coming into the year.
They're
You look
also
at
in a
it like,
shit division.
and they should have been a team that could beat Kansas City coming into the year. You would look at like before you saw the Colts play at all this year and you looked at the schedule, you'd be like, oh, that should be a good game.
Yeah.
And then the Colts were fucking terrible for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like,
Dog
oh,
water.
this would be a blowout. And then everybody picked Kansas in their survivor pool this week, and then everybody lost.
Yeah. And Mahomes threw his first pick of the year.
Hilarious. Love when the Chiefs lose.
But yeah, I think
His first actual pick.
the Colts traditionally start off slow and go on like a random 7-game run.
Much like a real horse.
And then they will lose when they need to win for a playoff spot. So
Yeah.
expect the same.
That's right.
Miami upsets Buffalo.
Hilarious.
But
Fucking-
punt.
So
that
great.
was the best thing I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Yo,
A blocked punt with your teammate's own butt.
I
That is
hate when Red
amazing.
Zone just fucking lines that shit up, and they're like, "Oh, we never usually show punts, but usually when we do, something crazy happens to them." And I'm like, "They're deep in their end zone. This is going right off of someone's ass, isn't it?" And it went literally right in his ass. And I'm like, "That's
What's crazy
fucking
is
hilarious."
The ball did debit or credit right through the butt cheeks. It was fucking unbelievable.
At first, everyone thinks that the kicker just like shanked it, right? That he like caught it too much on his foot and just kicked it backwards. Himself. And you're like, yikes, worst kick of your life. And then it's like, nah, it wasn't his fault so much.
You know what's actually funny? I heard about this because Thomas Morstead played for the Saints. That was his first block punt ever against him.
Wow. And it was his own
It
guy.
was his own teammate.
Here's the thing that I'm wondering about Miami. It has been a little bit unseasonably warm down in Florida. And
Stephon Diggs had to leave early with
You could see the
dehydration.
They had
Dying.
home games the last 2 weeks, didn't they?
Yeah. No. They played in Baltimore.
Were they in Baltimore last week?
They were
I
in
don't
Baltimore.
think
They
so.
were in Baltimore. Believe me, they were in Baltimore.
Okay.
Weird that you were so much.
I have
On
Lamar
that.
Jackson on my team. Come on.
I
I thought I
was like,
saw turquoise.
No, Hayden
No,
is correct.
It
But
was in Baltimore.
You look at this week and you're watching guys like the Dolphins are obviously everyone's a human. They're all playing on the same condition, but one team lives there and practices there
Mhm.
and is a little more accustomed to the heat. The other team, not so much. You play in Buffalo, where
The
it's not
complete
hot
opposite.
all year.
The complete
And
opposite.
it's like you're watching these guys cramp up. You're watching like you could just that last
You can
throw
see
by
it.
Allen at the end of the game where he just like basically didn't have the juice to get it to the guy almost. And you're just like, man, yikes. I would love to watch those two teams play again here. And it'll be exciting when they do. I think that Miami is looking like a team to be reckoned with. I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl this year, but so fun to watch. And obviously, we're going to talk about the fact that Tua obviously had a concussion, right?
Well, I was just about to say, the NFL is investigating the way Miami handled Tua's
And they should.
the head injury because he literally collapsed when he got up. And yes, obviously any sort of knock to the head, you might like stumble for a bit, but he legit, his legs went out from under him. And that's never a sign where, oh, give him 5 minutes and he'll come back in and be completely fine. And
You want to
now
call it a back injury? If I fall down, you tackle me and I hurt my back and I get up. If I've hurt my back, I'm doing something more like or you go take a step, you're like, nope, and you go down. You don't go like this.
Back in-
fucking wacky inflatable arm tube man your way
Yeah.
to the ground.
yeah,
Fucking
back
crazy.
injuries, it's like you go down to one knee and then like,
You're like,
all
help me off
fours.
the fucking field.
Yeah.
Guys, 'cause
Your
I pulled
hand
my
is
back.
literally
Yeah.
on your back.
but that like never happened.
Bad
And he
form.
never grabbed his ankle. Now that Mike McDaniel is saying he's out with a ankle/back injury, which are the two most random like slash points. You know when
Yeah.
it's like an
I
leg
fell down and I
slash,
hit my head, but my
like-
ankle got twisted
Yeah.
up.
like it's usually like a foot/ankle or like
Yeah.
something
It's
like
a
that.
bankle.
ankle / back, like that is two different points of the body. Like that is weird.
Mhm.
And in no point did it ever look like he was hobbling with that injury. It's clearly you're deflecting.
He had a
and make-
foggy brain.
He legit should not have come back into the game.
You see him
No.
hit the ground. You see the whiplash when his head goes
Yeah.
conk and hits the field. And you're like,
If-
and that's where it didn't happen when he got hit. It happened when he hit the ground. You're like,
Yeah.
Jesus.
If they said like a neck injury, like that would be way more understandable because
Yeah.
maybe whiplash or something like,
Nah, back and ankle
like-
because we're morons.
yeah. We
When
weren't
he
born
goes out, I
yesterday.
was like, oh shit. I was like, the Bills are about to win this game. Because you're like, I don't know who Miami's backup quarterback is, but
Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh, well, maybe they could have won still. Teddy Bridgewater, also top tier backup quarterback.
Top tier.
I can throw for 150 yards and 1 touchdown, and that is it. Like, thanks, Teddy. That's all we needed. We're gonna
I
run the
won't
ball.
win the game, but I won't be the reason we lose.
That's right. I'm not gonna make too many mistakes. But yeah, it was so shit like that in the NFL. Like, just this shit always happens.
Yeah.
Like, it's always something with
Yeah.
these assholes. And this week it was just, here's a guy who clearly shouldn't be playing the game of football still today, and yet we're
And-
gonna trot him back out there.
But you know what? Like the worst part is, sometimes it's not even the coaches that are like wanting to get them back on the field. It's the players themselves.
Yeah.
The players themselves are so like needy to be out on the field, and that's just the grit of how football players are. Obviously, coming from personal
They don't
experience.
have guaranteed contracts. They have to play, otherwise they're gonna get cut.
Exactly. But like I remember in high school or in junior, like the only thing that could literally take me off the field was like the fact that I couldn't move. You know what I mean? Or if I actually like literally lost consciousness one time because of concussion. So to get a football player to come off the field takes a lot. And
But that's
now
why
that
it's
there's
stupid that
the
you have trainers and you
NFLPA.
have medical guys. It's like
exactly. And
he
now
goes,
that there's
he
the
went off.
NFLPA, they should be saying, why the fuck is this man on the field? He literally fell down without anyone touching him, and he did not grab his back.
Yeah.
He did not grab his ankle. He literally looked like he just got
You
shot.
can't let a guy who got a concussion tell you he's okay to go back in the game, because you just
Never.
watched a guy fall down to the ground. And it's like, he's in the medical tent. You're running tests. Clearly, that guy's not fine. Who cares what he's saying? You're like, no, you're in the fucking dark room today, bud. You just stay
We
here
need
for a
this
few days.
win, Tua.
Yeah.
We need this win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, get back out there. He's like, okay. Fucking
But,
stumbles out there. Big
my-
sunglasses.
But yeah, I mean, Buffalo's only 2 points in the fourth quarter was from that safety.
I'm not worried about Buffalo.
Buffalo's going to be completely fine. They had 515 yards of offense.
Yeah.
To Miami's like
I blame it on that
260.
heat.
So I
Oh,
definitely
easily.
think it played a massive factor. But Miami sits atop of the AFC East regardless.
That's right. Go
Um,
Fins.
3-0.
Hilarious.
but-
Great to see.
Minnesota comes back and beats Detroit 28-24.
Battle of the teams
Um,
that don't matter in my division. Woo! All three of them
Uh,
don't matter really, but
The Bengals bounce back and beat the Jets 27-12.
Whoopee.
They
had to have that one.
Yeah, they exposed the game from Flacco was coming.
Mhm.
LA or not LA, Las Vegas
LV.
0-3. They lose
Yeesh.
24-22 to Tennessee.
How do you like that, Devontae?
I
Maybe you
wa-
shouldn't have laughed.
Yeah. Played the hangover meme when he was on the phone. He was like, look, we fucked up. Yeah, and it was Devontae Adams calling his Devontae
His
Adams
agent.
agent calling the Green Bay front office.
Take
Look,
us back.
we fucked up. The Eagles are keeping their momentum going with a 24 to
Fly Eagles
24 to
fly.
8 win over the
Love seeing Jalen
Commanders.
do it.
Duval upsets Herbert and the Chargers. I mean, take it with a grain of
kinda
salt because
saw
Herbert
this one coming. Yeah.
like
Busted ass
didn't-
ribs.
Yeah, he did not look like he could play. But they still won in convincing fashion. So we got to give them
Jags?
credit where credit's due. 38 to
pretty
10. The Rams.
Trevor Lawrence was a first overall pick.
Yeah.
Like, the kid's talented. Let's just see if he can, put it together. Some
He
guys take a little
finally
time.
has an NFL coach behind him.
Also,
Yes.
we all shit on that Christian Kirk contract. Laughed at it super hard. He's been great.
He's
Jeff and I-
been
Jeff
Yeah,
and I
we-
last week were giving Christian Kirk all of his flowers because
Yeah.
he has
Very
lived up
nice.
to this contract so far.
Yeah, he's been living up to it. Not the receiver I had in mind who was going to set the receiver market,
Mhm.
but all credit to him. I think he's living up to it. The Rams run through Arizona,
Hilarious.
winning 20
Kyler
to
Murray.
12.
Kyler Murray cringe.
What did Kyler Murray finish with?
Can't finish.
About 20 to 10 KDR,
Yeah.
18 headshots.
He threw it 58 times.
Yeah.
That's wild.
314 yards with nothing.
Nothing. Literally
Not
no
finding the end
touchdowns.
zone.
Didn't throw a pick though.
Two, and you know what? This is the biggest one. The Rams contained him to only 2 rushes for 8 yards.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's
That is
impressive.
huge.
Aaron Donald's just like
Bobby-
try it.
I was gonna say Bobby Wagner was playing QB contain on him and just
Mhm.
watching him.
Also, they really need back Hopkins. Marquise Brown, 14 receptions, 140 yards.
Damn.
That's throwing to a receiver a
That
lot.
is that is 28 points in PPR. That's fucking insane with no touchdowns.
That would, I mean, once Hopkins comes back, that's pretty good. Hopkins with Brown is like your number 2 because Brown's not a number 1. We know that.
Yeah.
He's a home
Yeah.
run hitting kind of
Yeah.
number 2 guy. Zach
Flash in
Ertz
the
looks
pan.
good. So you're like, okay, like that. All of it. He's gonna add such an element to that offense. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Kyler Murray, great, good fantasy quarterback. Not great real life quarterback.
Cam Akers actually getting involved in the offense. Let's go.
Love to see that. Love to see that.
I don't understand the Rams because
I agree.
like they go, we're going to run Henderson 18 times this game. The next game, we're going to run Akers at, and it's not like either, like Akers wasn't outplaying him, right? Like he averaged less than a yard more a carry. So it was, but still they're like, nah, we're going to feed him 3 times as many. It's like, why wouldn't you just kind of like split this down the middle with these guys? Why don't you just rush them both 10 times a game or more?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
or have one be the third down running back.
Something. And if a
Like-
guy really is doing shitty in one game, you're like Akers in the first game was like terrible, right?
Well, Akers
Henderson
only
had
had
no
2
yards.
rushes. He had 2 rushes.
Oh, I don't know what I'm thinking.
He
There was
had
something where
nothing.
Akers was bad. And maybe it was week 2 then. I don't know.
Well,
No,
no,
but-
no, it was both weeks. He had like dick shit.
Akers
Did he look
literally
like shit when he carried the ball both times though?
Akers
They were like,
literally
"Nah."
had 0 scrimmage yards, but I think because Akers didn't pick up a pass block for Stafford, and Stafford legit got chest
Crunched.
to the fucking solar plex hit.
Let's go,
And
Daryl.
I think McVay is like, all right, buddy, you're fucking done. You can't, because he went to
yeah,
commit
Daryl's
to
gonna
the
take that
block,
block.
and then backed away.
Just went away.
And then
Maybe.
and then I think it
that's
just
like
got
neither
Akers
guy-
benched.
I don't
and
know.
then
Neither
Henderson,
guy is like
but-
obviously a world beater, but they're both solid. I don't understand the thing where it's like put them both on
They're
the
good
thing.
running
Like
backs.
the
Akers is
Packers have been
better.
doing with Dillon and Jones. Are like we play
Yeah.
the H. You're like, here we go, split backs. Let's
Mhm.
figure it out.
Yeah. I think Akers is better, but like it's
Henderson
not like Henderson
averages
doesn't
more
take
than 4
advantage
yards a carry
of
every
his
game.
opportunities.
You're like, that's solid.
Yeah.
Also,
like he's a
fucking
solid
Allen
running
Robinson,
back.
throw him the ball, Matt.
But we're gonna move
throw
on.
him the ball.
Agreed.
Only Cooper Cup. You're like,
Yeah.
"Ah, racist."
Exactly. You need
Corey
Corey
didn't listen to our episodes.
Oh,
Corey.
Hayden, I was
Just
about
watch
to
it.
say Corey's
Just
pressing
watch it.
copy and paste from our
Yeah, he
episodes.
is,
I've got
man.
notes.
He's transcripting all of our episodes and finding
Racism.
what we said. Yeah. But
I,
or he watched the clip that we
I'm a
posted on
Spark Notes
Instagram
guy.
because I caught a
Watching
clip
a whole
of him
3-hour episode.
not throwing his. Yeah.
Who cares?
Atlanta beat Seattle 27-23.
Saw this happening.
Cordell Patterson, one of the greatest
him.
running backs of all time, 140 yards and a touchdown. He is electric. But yeah.
Scordell.
Bigger storyline in that they used Michael Pitts more.
Kyle Pitts.
Michael Pitts.
Michael Pitts. Oh, Michael Pittman. That's what was in my head.
Yeah, I was like,
That's
who is
close.
that?
Michael Pitts. You know, he's the tight end for the Indianapolis Colts. Yeah, Kyle Pitts. 8 catches, 87, 5 catches, 87 yards. You're like, finally, like a little bit. Most of that usage came early in the game, but still,
Mhm.
Like, let's give the ball to our most athletic player.
By the way, you know
their
how
most
I
athletic player could be Drake London. Drake
That's
London
also
looks like
true.
a fucking beast.
I mean, he only had 3 catches. So
Yeah, that is true.
always cut a bit of the episode and put it at the front before the intro.
Mhm.
I'm putting that Kyle Pitts or Michael Pitts part
Michael
right
Pitts?
right at the front of the episode. That's going right there. That's perfect. No one can miss that.
Woo! You don't want to put the Woody thing that we did for 5 minutes?
I was also gonna do that, but that's just way too long. Pulling the string over and over again. Come on, you bitch, play your part. My
See, you're just
Patriots
making
lost
it
to the
good.
Ravens 37-26. I
And
think this will and Mac Jones is gonna be
There
out
it
for
is.
3 to 4 weeks with a high
your
ankle
season's
sprain.
lost.
I think it's gonna be more than 3 to 4 weeks. A severe high ankle sprain.
It said it did say multiple weeks. So I was just like the first thing that came to my head was 3 to 4.
5.
It might be the rest of the
5
season.
plus.
I won't
I
be surprised if
know-
it's the rest of the season. High
I
ankle
know
sprains
this
are
is-
long, lingering.
I know this is
injuries.
no comparison whatsoever, Jeff, but I just want to
I
say
rolled
Michael
my ankle
Thomas
once.
had a high ankle sprain and he then missed a year and a half. Now I'm not saying it's going to be the exact same, but just prepare for the worst, okay?
But also,
Especially
Saquon-
if the Pats lose like the next 4 games, then you're like, why would we bring him back to
But
try
also-
and get to 500 and still not make the playoffs?
But also Saquon had that ankle sprain, and I'm pretty sure he was out for like a fucking quarter or some shit like that.
1 week.
It-
Literally 1
he
week.
came, but yeah, he was out for 1 week, and maybe that's why he was injured for like the next year and a half. But we don't bring that up. But I think this was a storyline of Patriots not able to keep possession of the ball. Mac
Mhm.
Jones threw 3 interceptions, and we just kept fumbling.
Mhm.
Devontae Parker finally like broke out for one of his big games. Why we brought him in? He had 5 receptions for 156 yards.
Great game.
So he broke out for like 230+ yard catches. So we ran the ball well. Like Ramondre Stevenson had 73 yards on the ground for a touchdown. Like that's a pretty solid game.
Great game.
And that's where like I'm happy with our run game because Harris had 11 carries for 41 yards and a touchdown. Stevenson had 12 carries for 73 yards and a touchdown.
Doing what the Rams should be doing.
Exactly.
Split
We're
those
splitting it right
carries,
down the
baby.
middle because they're both effective in the same way. Kendrick Bourne had more than 2 offensive snaps because he had 4 receptions. So that means at least 4 offensive snaps.
Born again.
Yeah, he had 58 yards. So pretty decent. But I think right now, Lamar Jackson, the MVP favorite right now. I think he's just
Sitting there without a contract extension.
and like Hayden, his dark horse MVP. He was my MVP coming in before I switched to Herbert. He has 3 straight games with 4
He's-
touchdowns
He's
at
the
least.
MVP right
5
now.
touchdowns.
No, with at
Ran
least
one
4
in.
without 4
Oh, with at
with
least
at-
4.
with at least
I
4
see what you're saying. I
touchdowns.
get words.
And 2 straight games with 100 yards rushing and a touchdown. And last week against the Dolphins, he was the only player in NFL history to have a 75+ yard touchdown pass and 75+ touchdown run
Lamar, go
insane.
hard.
in the same game. So he right
Love
now
him.
he's the MVP favorite without question. Mark Andrews doing his thing again, 2 touchdowns and 89
Tight end
yards.
1, baby.
Best
I-
tight end in football.
Our bet is neck and neck right now
It's
because I
neck
think
and neck. It's looking good, man.
What do you got,
Yeah.
Kelsey Andrews or something?
Yeah.
I had Kelsey finishing tight end 1. He had Andrews.
Fair. But it'll be
So-
one of them.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be one of them. But yeah, I think that was like the synopsis from the Patriots game.
Nice to see
But-
J.K. Dobbins come back.
Exactly. Yeah.
J.K.
Yeah.
J.K.
JK. Packers beat Brady and the Bucks 14-12.
Woo, baby! There it is. Watch my team win a game that we, in the last few years, probably would have lost.
Yo, it looked like it was going to be such a good game for the first half, and then the second half came, and I was like, this is fucking boring, man.
When Aaron Jones fumbled the ball on the fucking 1 yard line.
When Vita
Yep.
Vey put his shoulder into his back,
Oh,
I would
yeah.
fumble
God,
too.
nailed the
spirit out of him. You think you're just getting normal tackled, and then a fucking 300-pound guy's like,
he PK Subban Marchand. Like that was
he
that
ran
hit.
at him like the fucking handicap guy in Happy Gilmore, the giant. I believe that jacket belongs to Mr. Gilmore.
Or when like the Hulk in fucking Endgame.
Yeah.
It was the biggest hit stick I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Was
But after
the-
that,
Defensive tackle Vita Vey dropping
get
into
anything going.
coverage and putting his shoulder into the fucking running back. But
Bod Tolls, he just had a great game plan for us. and really fucked us up in the second half. They made adjustments. We didn't really seem to make any on offense. We were just like, we tried our best. But defensively, the Packers were very good, which is great because coming into the season, everyone was kind of saying that defense is what's going to need to win you games sometimes because who's going to catch the ball? You have mostly scrubs. Well, that's true.
Well, I mean, when you're a rookie
Did you
running
see
back,
Alan Lazard throw up?
Yeah,
I did
after he
not.
scored a touchdown. Yeah,
He scores a touchdown because they're in Tampa where it's hot as hell. I heard today, I read something that the AC was not working in the Packers locker room in that game, in the visitor locker room.
Weird.
Like, fuck you, Tom Brady.
Yeah, what a coincidence. What a coincidence.
It's 100 degrees. You're like, nah, you can sweat it out in the sweat lodge, boys. But huge win.
Yeah, massive.
Great to see.
Yes, great
Huge.
for me too, Corey. I actually had to cheer for one of those two teams.
Right?
The one
Took the lesser two evils for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Romeo Dobbs looked pretty good. Made all of his catches.
Unlike week 1, dropping that wide open fucking.
No,
that was Christian Watson. That was our other rookie. You stupid bitch. That was Michael Pitts. So maybe he has a bigger chunk of the shares this week. It'll be exciting when Christian Watson comes back. See if they can start to get him into the fold a little bit. Both guys, lots of talent there. We'll see if they can make anything of it. But
Watson is just full of raw talent.
It's what he is. He's a lump of clay that you're like, if we can just mold you into
the most beautiful vase ever.
Yeah, or we could burn it
Packers,
in the kiln.
so...
We always have good receivers. What are you talking
about? Can we please, I beg you, actually keep this next game short?
Done. You asked about my team.
No, I'm saying because Hayden was like, hey, we're going to keep this short and sweet. And then we just went on.
Here. I'll give you 5 seconds or less.
San Francisco loses to Denver 11-10.
Most boring fucking game ever, man.
Fucking yikes. Yikes. Russell Wilson looked like Russell Wilson for the last minute of that game or whenever they had their last possession. And you're like, there he is. Can they do this every week where he kind of scrambles a little bit and makes something happen? You're like, that's what you've been missing this whole fucking time.
Yeah, the fact that
Nathaniel Hackett, I don't think you were thinking you were going to get Russell Wilson. I think you thought you were going to get Aaron Rodgers this year. And you're like, nope.
The fact that they gave Russell Wilson that $250 million contract before he even played a game under them, and now he's playing like this is just
That's
a tough
fair.
look.
He's one of the best quarterbacks of the last,
It's just a
15
tough.
years.
It's just a tough look.
I think they will. That offense will get better as the year goes on.
They have to.
Russell Wilson, even if he's a slightly washed version of Russell Wilson, is still better than most of the quarterbacks in the league. Sutton and Judy are both good receivers. Like Gordon and Javonte are both really good running back. Like there's pieces there. Their O-line is not bad. Their defense is good. So you're like, that team will do better than it's shown. But that's all I'll say about it. San Francisco, you're going to get Jimmy Garoppolo is not good.
Denver's severely fraudulent 2-1 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best things coming out of this game was the Russell Wilson memes, the let Russ cook memes of it's like basically
I was
raw.
About to say that's my favorite thing about
raw hot dog wieners on like beans. It's like this is what happens when you let Russ cook. It's fucking hilarious. But that's the best thing I've seen come out of this game. Jim, was it this game or when? No, I was thinking it was a really bad interception was thrown, but I might be thinking of the next game we talk about in the Giants.
I don't know. I did not get to catch any of that Giants.
Can't remember, but
and I don't.
It might have been even just a pass breakup, but Jimmy Garoppolo threw terrible throw right to the.
That's not surprising.
Jimmy Garoppolo is a white Teddy Bridgewater, is he not?
Yeah.
That's the same quarterback.
I last episode I said Garoppolo's a handsome version of Teddy Bridgewater. He
is the most handsome quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
The man is gorgeous.
They're the same. They have the same stat lines over and over again. They'll throw a bad interception here and there, and they'll produce like, oh shit, this guy.
That team almost won a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah. But let's go to Monday Night Football. Dallas wins 23-16 over the Giants. Giants ending their undefeated streak.
Damn.
Cooper Rush played
Actually looks
decent,
like
I think.
all right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I thought the Giants were going to win this game, honestly.
I thought the Giants were gonna win this too.
Yeah.
but they
There's
didn't.
also
And
a crazy stat going around that Daniel Jones is now 0-11 in primetime games. So move over,
young Kirk Cousins.
Cousins.
That was my favorite part of week 2, by the way, and I'm sure you guys talked about it. Kirk Cousins fucking looked great against the Packers in week 1, and then you're like, and he's playing in prime time in week 2, and garbage. You're like, there he is, my
Kirk
guy. Kirk
Cousins
Cousins.
I
in
almost
Monday
fucking
night,
lost.
2-10.
I
You
needed
played Kirk Cousins.
I needed
Idiot.
7 I
That's
needed
you.
7 points from Kirk and
Thielen.
And I like there was a
36.
point
You almost can't lose that. A quarterback and a receiver.
yeah, where it was the 4th quarter and I was still losing by like a point. And I'm like, you can't be serious right now. And then
You should know to never play Kirk Cousins in a prime time game.
I had no choice. I was losing.
Pick up
and
anybody else
everyone
week.
else has played. But
before the games start.
It was quarterback.
But-
it was a 2-quarterback league.
yeah,
I would rather have the guy I would rather play a running back or a receiver. Just don't play Kirk on
Yeah,
a
it was-
primetime game. Odds
but-
are he'll be terrible.
Yeah, but anyways, Sterling Shepard, after coming off a torn
Mhm.
Achilles last year, tore his
Rest in
ACL
peace.
on like the
Big
last
bummer.
play of the
Their
game.
best receiver.
Yep.
Yeah.
Literally the last throw of Daniel Jones for the night, and it was like, did you see the video?
Yeah,
He's
he was
jogging
on
on turf,
he was
Yeah.
on the other side of the field and he was jogging.
I also hate
making the
where-
argument for getting rid of turf.
No, this was stupid. I hate
least
how
the
I
MetLife
hate
turf.
how Odell came out and said like, "Man, this is stupid. Like, get the turf out of here." Bro, he was jogging. He was jogging and he tore his ACL. That is not turf. That is just fucking terrible luck because he didn't make a
Turfed
cut.
it, yeah.
He didn't do anything.
He cut his
He
leg up
was-
pretty bad.
Like,
Those
he was
muscles are
just
cut as
running,
fuck.
and then he just tore his ACL.
Couldn't be
that's
more
not
cut.
the turf
He
fault.
turfed his ACL.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But no, it was just, I mean, it is not like it's common for someone to tear
The non-contact injury.
Yeah, or like
Yes.
tear their Achilles coming off an ACL or tear their ACL coming off an Achilles. It's super common in the NFL. You
Very
see it
sad.
a lot. It's almost like you never want to bet on a guy to get injured, but maybe throw a couple bucks on someone coming off an ACL or tear
Christian
their
McCaffrey.
Achilles. Like it's common.
I want to
It-
be healthy this year.
yeah, it happens. Like you saw Klay Thompson. I know it's not football, but he tore his ACL and then came back first fucking court session, tore his Achilles.
Mhm.
Who was it in the training video for the NFL? Like he was on live stream streaming.
You know who it is? It's,
Oh.
the Bears running back. It's small guy.
Fuck, yeah,
Love that. Tariq Cohen.
Tariq
That's
Cohen.
it. I
Yeah.
read there was a
Tore his
piece on
ACL
him
and
in
tore
the
his
Athletic
Achilles.
that he wrote, and it was, I felt so much worse for the guy knowing like the life he's had.
Yeah.
You should find it and read the Athletic piece that he wrote about his, like, it's like him writing like a letter to his younger self. It is so good, and it will make you fucking feel even worse for Tariq Cohen. Seems like a great guy and just like the worst luck.
Yeah, it's just so unfortunate because he had that one amazing year that like put him on the map,
Mhm.
and then he's just had terrible luck ever since.
He's like a Kareem Hunt. You're like, ooh, this guy has the chops in the backfield catching the ball. But yeah, Cowboys, Giants, who cares? The Eagles are going to win that division, and neither of those teams is going to make the playoffs. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's all I got for this week. What games do we like for next week?
I was hoping that Mac Jones was going to be healthy. Packers Patriots would have been probably a pretty good game, but
Well,
I don't think so
Yeah.
anymore.
Hey, Brian Hoyer season, baby, don't sleep.
Okay.
I'll start it off. Obviously, you look at
Thursday.
Thursday night.
Thursday
That's
night
gonna
looks good.
Track
That's
meet.
going to be a great game. Sunday night is on track to be a great game.
Yep.
Rams 49ers, I could give
Should-
less of a shit about.
But
I
should
think-
maybe could divisional. So you're
No,
like, who knows?
No, Rams.
You think they steamroll
Rams
them?
are going to revenge them easily. I mean,
Bills,
I
Ravens.
I don't want to actually say like I am excited for this game, but I love the Europe. I love the Europe games. It just so
So-
happens to be New Orleans and Minnesota. I love waking up at 6:30
Mhm.
when no one else is up, and
Mhm.
like I have coffee and I'm just watching like pointless.
You get football
usually.
from 6:30 in the morning until
Oh,
8:30 at night. And you're like, yes.
It's so fucking good. So I can't
Especially
wait
because
for that
both those
game.
teams are.
Exactly.
It sucks because they're in Europe, and you're like, sometimes teams really suck when they go to Europe, and it just like they shit the bed. But that
These are two
game has
actually teams.
potential to
Yeah.
be a fun game.
I agree. And
I'm
then
jazzed.
my game of the week, for my absolute lock game of the week. If there's not 80 points scored in this game, it's terrible. But the Bills are going to Baltimore,
Hmm.
and it is going to be a showdown of all showdowns. Who I think the top two people in the MVP race are right now. So this is going to be a great game.
A game that I
Rashad
think
Bateman and Gabriel Davis. That's right.
could be fun if like what we've seen the past few weeks lives up. Jacksonville, Philly. It could be
I
a
was gonna
sneaky
say,
good game.
Sneaky entertainment is what
Yeah.
that game could be.
Like
Or
Jacksonville just put up 38
Jacksonville
on
like shits
Chargers.
the bed.
Yeah,
You're
like they-
If Jacksonville beats Philly,
They're
what does that say? Like, what does that say? Does that say like Jacksonville's
that
good,
says the
or are
AFC South is
Eagles-
up for grabs, baby.
and I think what could be another Sunday night football that just happened this week could be copy and paste into this week. Denver, Vegas. I
Yes.
think two teams that should be a really fun matchup, but
Could
from
be
what
total
we've
stinky
seen,
stinks.
I mean, with Denver's offensive production, they're like in fantasy, when you win, but you got the second lowest points and the
Mhm.
team you beat has the lowest points. That's Denver's
That's
past
the
two
best
wins.
feeling in
That
fantasy
was
football.
that was literally you in Dynasty this week.
Yeah,
almost.
that's Denver's past 2 weeks. Last week they put up 16 points. This week they put up 11,
yeah.
and they
right.
won both games. So it's like, from what I've seen,
Is that your pick
it's-
for stinker of the week?
I don't,
That is
because I just know their teams, and when I say it's going to be a stinker, it's just not going to be a stinker this time.
I'm going Pittsburgh and the Jets is my
Yeah.
stinker of the week.
Or
Because
Chicago
Pittsburgh defense is
Giants.
better. So I'm like, they'll be able to probably stop the Jets more. And the
Yeah.
Honestly,
Steelers' offense
I
is
could
terrible.
See Chicago and New York actually be like a pretty decent.
Yeah.
I
a
don't
gutted
know
out
why,
run
it just-
game.
Yeah, like it just kind of has that feel. The way Khalil Herbert was running. against
So
Houston,
good.
So good, yeah.
Yeah. Pittsburgh Jets is going to be boring.
Mhm.
Yes.
Maybe
Jets might actually win that game.
Maybe Arizona, Carolina as well. I don't have a lot of faith in that game either.
No, I hate
Yeah.
how that's a 105
Yeah.
game.
Watch
When-
you know what my pick is for a sneaky stinker of the week is Titans Colts,
Yeah. Same.
where it's going to be like 16-12. Just sort of one of those
Derrick
games
Henry
that you're
has
like,
both
the only
touchdowns
way
for the team.
anyone's watching it is because that was on Red Zone.
Yeah.
Like flicked to it a couple times. You're like, here we go. There's Ryan Tannehill. I don't know. He threw a 2-yard touchdown pass. You're like, cool.
Corey, if you just had to forget
Yes.
like spread or money line pick,
Yeah.
what's your lock of the week?
Lock of the week. Give me a second to look at the games real quick here. It's funny because there's not a ton, a lot of good teams are playing good teams.
I got one lock of the week.
You go first. Let Daddy think for a sec.
Corey, your Packers are going to absolutely shit kick the Patriots with no Mac Jones. Jeff, I hate to do this to you, but it's like, man, if the Patriots defense can hold them up, I don't think they can. I think Packers win this game 9 times out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
We should definitely win this game with no Mac Jones. It's like you're at home, you're in Lambeau. You should definitely win that game. How much healthier is Justin Herbert supposed to be this week compared to last week?
Oh boy.
Because if he's supposed to be like 30% healthier than he was this week, the Chargers over the Texans would be my lock. But if he's still like ultra fucking banged up, then you're like, no, I don't want to touch that. In which case I don't want to go with the Packers because we just picked the Packers as one of them. So instead I will go with the Rams over the Niners.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the Lions over the Seahawks. The Lions play really hard,
They do.
and I feel like the Seahawks don't have anything this year.
They had their first game against Denver. That was it.
Yeah, the revenge. I know you guys must have talked about this, but I just want to say, how dare they boo Russell Wilson in
I know.
Seattle?
Oh, I
How
know. What a
fucking
terrible
dare you,
sports
you
town.
garbage sports city with your shit fucking, we're the 12s fans. Every last one of you can pack up and get the fuck out. That man is the best quarterback you've ever had. He wins you. You don't win a Super Bowl without Russell Wilson.
I know.
I could not, and it's not like he went out there and demanded a trade. He saw what was going on around him with the team. It was like, maybe this isn't the best situation for me anymore. Maybe it's time you guys rebuild and let me try and keep winning. And they're like, he jogs it on the field. And you're like, what are you booing?
Yeah. No,
Yeah, it's a
Blew my
joke.
mind.
an absolute
joke.
tragedy.
I hate that team, and I hope they are losers for a decade. There's only two teams that I look at. I'm like, man, I hope you just suck for a while. And it's the Seahawks. And then out of a fit of jealous rage, it's the stupid New England Patriots that I want you to be bad for a long time because you deserve it. Too much winning. Too much winning. You need to lose for a decade and like be bad. Like Mac Jones needed to be bad. And like you can't find a quarterback, like that whole thing. But those are the two teams.
Whatever, man.
It's fair. Fuck you
Tell
and
us
your
how you
fucking
really
100
feel,
Super
Corey.
Bowls, you bitch.
If Corey's not going to take it, I'll take it. I think my lock is Chargers over Texans. And yeah, and maybe I think Arizona will beat Carolina. It just will be a bad game.
Mhm.
But because I trust Kyler Murray more than Baker Mayfield. But that's
I mean, if we're looking
basically
at underdogs, I think the Bucks have a real good chance of beating the Chiefs.
I do not.
You don't think so?
No.
I think
I
they
do.
always do.
Are any of
No,
those receivers?
Mahomes-
Mike Evans will be
Mahomes
back.
gets his revenge.
I think.
My
Mahomes
underdog
gets
would
his
be
revenge.
my underdog is Jacksonville beating Philly.
Yeah, damn you.
My underdog will be the Ravens to beat the Bills.
That's barely an underdog. Go fuck yourself. It
It's
is an
3.5
underdog.
points. It's 3.5 points.
Yeah, barely
That's
an
home
underdog.
field advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no,
I'm
the
sorry.
Ravens are home. So actually, no, it's like yeah, okay. Never mind.
The Falcons beating the Browns is barely an underdog. That's 1.5. All right. So
Yeah, my lock of the week was almost one of those teams, and I'm like, I don't know if I trust either of them.
no, God no. Jacoby Brissett or Marcus Mariota.
So they're copy and pasting the fucking Steelers with Trubisky. Although
Yeah.
I'd much rather have Mariota.
The
Let's
Saints
fucking-
beating the Vikings is probably the best underdog to take. If you like, that's 2.5 points,
Yeah.
but
It's crazy that New Orleans is
or the Dolphins
getting 3.
4 points underdog.
I like that one. I would.
That's a bet.
Take-
That
How
put
in
some
the
money on that game.
I would
Dolphins
take Miami
money
in that
line.
game. I would
Yeah. I
take
don't know what to tell
Miami in
you
that
guys.
game. Maybe is
Did I
it
just find us a cool
based
bet to throw
on-
down?
based on Tua? Maybe I don't know.
I literally might go on bet 365 right now and literally bet Dolphins money line.
All right,
Bulldogsports.net.
let's fucking wrap this puppy up. Corey, this was a fucking blast.
Woo!
Thank you for joining us once again.
Happy to.
Let the people know where they can follow you.
You can follow me at Cory_Letendre at twitter.com. That's where you're going to find me. I post a lot, but if you want to talk to me, I'll talk to you. Just fire me a, hey, hello, hi there, how you doing? And I'll say, hey, I'm good.
You talk a lot more when like hockey season's going on and stuff like that. So
Yeah, when there's more sports going on, I will tweet about more sports usually. But
Yeah. Which
you
makes
know,
sense.
that's what I like
Hayden.
to listen to.
Hayden, plug your stuff, big boy.
So, but
At Hayden_Barton on Instagram and Twitter. That's where you can find me.
And you could follow me on Instagram at Jevon.Lefave, on Twitter at JevonLefave. Find everything for the show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at LeftsideHeavy_. Next week, we are previewing the NHL season. So,
26 degrees, but we're getting back on the ice.
so keep a lookout for that. We will maybe touch on week 4 there's a few decent games lined up. So if there's anything that tickles our fancy, then we will. But a large part of it is going to be a big episode previewing. So maybe we'll throw a KBNR, which is supposed to come out next week. Maybe we'll throw it to previewing the NHL or something like that. But I'm thinking we're going to rip another fantasy draft for you guys back to back. But this time it's going to be a little hockey, and expect Ian Mackinnon to come back on the show. And Cory, this is a formal invitation. If you want to join us for NHL preview next week, you can.
You are looking at this year's reigning CDC GML Fantasy Hockey League champion.
Let's go.
That's right, baby. The winners.
Are you
Winners
interested?
win.
Are you
Yeah, I'll probably do that shit with you. You know, do a
Cool.
little, talk a little hockey, a little pucky
Yeah.
puck.
Yeah, we're doing it full NHL preview, all divisions, awards, and Stanley Cup picks, the whole 9 yards. So keep a lookout for that. If you want to watch us on YouTube, Left Side Heavy, subscribe, like, comment, ring the bell, do whatever you can, and leave a rating and review on all platforms. It really helps grow the show. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next week. Peace.